Disclaimer. The following content is entirely fictional and does not represent real events or people. This material has been edited and adapted from the channel Beyond the Page. No, please stop. It's not me. I didn't do it. It's not my fault. Wake up, you lazy girl. All you do is sleep all day, my mom said. And where is our breakfast? Didn't I tell you to make us one before we woke up? I'm sorry. I didn't finish my sentence because she grabbed me by my hair and pulled me out of my room. My old injuries started to ache, and I think a long-healed mark on my chest felt tender again. She took me to the kitchen and saw a cup of steaming water. She poured it near me, and I could feel the heat on my skin, but I tried to be quiet because she would punish me more if I talked or made a sound. I could only cry silently. Afterwards, she said, next time be sure to make the pack's breakfast, or else you will suffer a heavier punishment. And stop crying. No one will pity you. Yes, Luna, you heard that right. My mother is the Luna of this pack, and my father is, of course, the Alpha. I forgot to introduce myself. My name is Aria, and I come from the Blood Moon pack. Since my older brother passed away because of me, they've treated me like a servant and like I'm worthless. My status is lower than that of an Omega. I don't understand why they don't just ask me to leave our pack. Instead, they make me their servant and take their frustrations out on me. Tomorrow is my 18th birthday, and I will finally meet my mate. I'm hoping that he can get me out of here. Hey, where is my favorite dress? I asked you to wash it yesterday? Madison asked. She is one of the spoiled girls who always gives me a hard time. I put it in your closet yesterday, I answered, but what I didn't expect was that she would hit me in the head with a hanger. My vision started to spin, but I didn't care. I tried to stand straight, but my vision was betraying me. Then I fell to the floor. Madison saw this, but she didn't care. If you put it in my closet, then why do I have to ask you? She kicked my side, making my vision more blurry. Feeling that it was still not enough, she kicked me once again, and that's when I blacked out. When I woke up, I was still in the hallway. Why would anyone bother with me anyway? It's not like someone will pity me and carry me to a room. I thought to myself. I tried getting up so I could go to my room and tend to my aches that had returned because of what Madison did. When I reached my room, I took the first aid kit from under my bed and I started treating my injuries. That's when I remembered how my mother used to care for my hurts when my brother was still alive and we were still a happy family. My brother and I were playing in the pack house's garden. Come and catch me, I said to my brother, and then I giggled. I'm gonna catch you, my brother said, making me run faster. But I didn't see the rock, so I tripped and scraped my knees. Coincidentally, our mother left the pack house to call us for dinner, so when she saw me, she helped me stand and tended to my scrapes when we got inside. Ouch, Mommy, it hurts, I said. You shouldn't be running so fast, so that you don't get hurt, she replied. Okay, I will remember that. It's just that Andrew is chasing me, so I ran faster. Oh, little one, I finished tending to your scrape. Let's eat now. Your father is waiting for us. Yes, Mommy, Andrew and I said at the same time. With that in mind, I lay in my bed and fell asleep happily for the first time in 8 years, ever since my brother passed away and my pack started to dislike me. I woke up when my alarm went off. Today is Monday and my 18th birthday, but I have to clean the pack house and make breakfast for the pack members before I go to school. Yes, I go to school, even though I'm only a servant and, of course, their instant target for unkindness. I started cleaning the pack house and then I made breakfast. After that, I took a quick bath and put on makeup to cover some of the bruises that were visible. I don't want them to notice my bruises and assume that I am looking for pity. And maybe if they see them, they will just add more, I thought to myself. I quietly went down the stairs to not disturb them. But I think this was my unlucky day because I saw Madison and her friends in the hallway to the door. When I passed by them, one of her friends named Katie tripped me, so I fell face first on the floor. I tried getting up, but they kicked me. After a couple of kicks, they left me alone. What a great birthday gift for someone like me. I breathed a sigh of relief. I'm thankful that they only kicked my side and the lower parts of my body so my face is still okay, although I did fall flat on the floor. I slowly stood up and hissed when I felt the discomfort in my side strike. I carefully shook the dust off me so as not to hurt myself further. I limped all the way to my school. When I arrived, the class had already started. Miss Aria, the class has already started and yet you arrived just now. May I know the reason? Our teacher asked. Ma'am, I'm sorry. There were just some problems at home. I replied. You always say that. Now I don't believe you anymore. Stand outside and think about your actions. Don't come in until I call you. Still hesitating, I answered with a low voice. Yes, ma'am. I got out of the classroom and stood on the grounds. After a long time, my body started to ache more because of the sun, since there was no roof to protect me from the heat and sunlight. Also, I had been standing for a long time. I silently fumed about that teacher of mine. She must be glad that I still attend her class even though her teaching skills are the worst. After fuming about our teacher in my mind, I started to smell the most intoxicating scent in the world. It smelled like honey with a hint of lemon. I looked around to see who the source of the scent was. That's when I saw Theo Stone, the alpha of the Moonstone Pack, which is also one of the largest, most dominant packs in our state. I was walking with my beta on the university grounds. Maybe some of you are curious as to why I have a beta since I'm still a student. Well, let me introduce myself. I am Theo Stone, the alpha of the Moonstone Pack. My pack is one of the largest packs here in our state. So, going back to the topic, did you smell that? I asked my beta. What is it, Alpha? I didn't smell anything, he replied. It smells like jasmine with a hint of rose. That's when it hit me. I found my mate. She was standing in the middle of the school grounds. Maybe her teacher punished her. Mate, my wolf Tyler said excitedly. So I came close to her and asked her. What are you doing here? I asked, and before she could answer, she fainted. A good thing I caught her, or she would have hit the ground. She's so weak. She even fainted like this. With no other choice, I carried her and asked my beta to prepare the car so we could go back to our pack. When we got back, I laid her down on a queen-sized bed in one of the guest rooms and asked one of my maids to look after her. When I saw how frail her body was under her sweater, I felt a sense of unease. Maid is not a problem, Tyler said, but I didn't argue back. I knew that he would keep defending this girl, so I just pushed him to the back of my mind, after much difficulty. After the maid finished tending to her, I left her alone so that she could rest a bit. I would reject her later because she isn't fit to be the Luna of my pack. I woke up with my head still spinning. And that's when I realized that I was not on the school grounds anymore. My memories came rushing back, and I remembered someone asking me a question and me fainting before I could even answer. Thankfully, that man caught me, or else I would have hit the ground. Then I remembered his smell. Mate, Anna was purring in my head, excited to meet her mate. Someone entered the room, and he had a hint of the scent of my mate, so I think it's his beta. The alpha wants to know how you are, he said. I'm fine now, thank you for asking, I said shyly. Good. Now come, we will meet him, he ordered. I stood up from the bed and followed him. A question suddenly popped into my mind, so I asked, by the way, where am I? You are here at the pack house of the Moonstone Pack, he replied. We stopped in front of a room with double doors. We came into what I think is the alpha's office. His office was simple but luxurious, with books arranged neatly on the bookshelves and a wooden table in the center with a matching cushioned chair of the same color. There was also a large painting in between the bookshelves, smaller paintings on the side, and a circular chandelier attached to the ceiling that added to the room's elegant but minimalist look. Alpha, she is here, the beta said. You may leave now, replied my mate. The beta left, and my mate came close to me. His scent made me calm down since I was nervous because I was not familiar with my surroundings. I was waiting for his next move when he started to talk. I investigated your background, and it seems that you are an alpha's daughter, but your pack dislikes you so much, he said calmly. I stayed silent and let him continue, but I had a heavy feeling that this would lead to something undesirable. I also got to know that you are the reason why their next alpha in line is now gone, he added, and that shook me to the core. I knew that I was the reason why my brother was gone, but he didn't need to rub it in my face. Wah! My brother's passing is not directly my fault. I didn't cause it, I yelled at him, my tears starting to stream down my eyes. How could he accuse me like that when he doesn't even know me fully? He only met me today, and I am also his mate. So how can he believe others, without even asking me? I thought to myself hard, not knowing what went wrong, but what he said next left me dumbstruck. I, Theo Stone, alpha of the Moonstone Pack, reject you, Aria of the Blood Moon Pack, as my mate and Luna, he said with his voice filled with annoyance and displeasure. Instead of defending myself, I stood there crying, but I didn't accept his rejection. Because maybe he could give me a chance to prove myself to him. Aria of the Blood Moon Pack, Do not accept your rejection, I replied. I could see the intensity of the look in his eyes, the frustration radiating from him. But I did not back down, not when I had found the one that I had been longing to have, my mate. How can you not accept my rejection? He yelled at me and suddenly came toward me, grabbing my shoulders tightly. I gasped for air and I whispered, I can't. I like you. His hold on my shoulders loosened up, so I continued. I have been wanting a mate since I was left on my own, and now that I found you, I don't want to let you go. Well, I don't like you, so now get out, and leave this place before I do something I regret. You bothersome girl, he spat. And that broke my heart more. Crying, I ran out of their pack house and tried transforming into my wolf, just to be disappointed again, because I was too weak to be in my wolf form due to the rejection. Always a weakling, I thought to myself as my crying intensified. Even the skies were weeping with me when I got out because it started raining so hard that I could barely see my way. When I got home after the long walk in the rain, my father's stern look is what met me. After he raised his hand to me, he pulled my hair and brought me to the basement of the pack house. You worthless girl! Why did you come home late? You didn't even make us dinner on time, my father yelled angrily. I am sorry. There were some problems at school and it's raining, so I had to walk slowly, I said just above a whisper. You even have the guts to make an excuse, you worthless girl, he spat. And with that, he threw me on the floor and took out his belt, using it on me without a second thought, like I was not his daughter or relative at all. Not even considering that I am a person with feelings. I could feel my old aches returning and new ones forming. I tried my best not to shout because that would agitate him more, but tears kept streaming down my face. After he got tired, he stood up and left me alone, lying on the cold floor, with tears on my face. I tried standing up, but my vision kept spinning and my back was hurting, and so were my legs. Why do I have to suffer like this? Why don't they just let me go? I thought. I got up to my room limping, and then I took a bath to soothe my aching body. I couldn't stop the tears from falling. How heartless he is, that he did not even consider that I am his daughter, his own family. It took me more than an hour and a half to finish cleaning myself, being careful with my new injuries. I went out of the bathroom and limped my way to the closet. If you can call a dilapidated basket a closet at all. I grabbed the first pair of clothes that came into my view and then changed into them. I also took the medicine kit, which I thankfully obtained last time to treat my injuries. After that, I lay on the bed and waited, recounting what has happened in this very tragic but not rare occurrence in my life. I remembered how my mate, that someone I had been waiting for my whole life, rejected me. Yet again, I begged him to at least try to know me better, before abandoning me. Then my mind went to the harsh treatment my father gave me. All the marks and other injuries I got hurt, but what hurt the most were his venomous words towards me, making me feel that I did not deserve to be his daughter, or maybe to have a breath of life at all. With all of these in my mind, I really couldn't stop the tears from falling, so much that it even soaked my pillow. I waited and waited, already aware of the injuries that I had, as the numbness faded away. At last, I was thankful that sleep finally took me. After I rejected her, she left, and then one of the women from my pack entered my office. Technically, she was not just anyone, because I made her a temporary Luna. She spoke to me sweetly and asked me to embrace her, which I gladly did, pushing that bothersome woman to the back of my mind. Now I was really convinced that she did not deserve to be my mate and Luna. Stop it. Mate is going to be hurt, Tyler angrily growled in my head. And I again fought for dominance, which I easily obtained. I didn't stop until my wolf stopped trying to take over, and when I got him out, I blocked him. Then I enjoyed my time while embracing my temporary Luna. Even without the sparks and inner feelings like what I had with the other woman, this substitute that I chose still had the dignity and power to become my Luna, which I could not let my too-weak mate do. While I was fast asleep, I suddenly felt a pain in my chest. At first, I didn't mind it, but the pain got worse, and I couldn't prevent myself from crying out. But then I shut my mouth and bit my lip to try my best not to shout, so as not to wake any of the pack members, especially my mom and dad. He is with another woman, Anna said through the mind link. How could he do that when he just rejected us? I asked her. Maybe he wants us to reject him, Anna replied to me. Then I will grant his wish, I said. Since he doesn't want me, I will not force myself on him, I thought. I got up, then packed my clothes and other important things. I wrote a letter to my parents saying how disappointed I was in them and asking why they blamed me for my brother's passing. Lastly, I ended the letter saying, I will never, ever go back here again. After that, I slowly tiptoed my way out of our pack house. With newfound energy that I did not know I possessed, and even though my body still hurt, I transformed into my wolf and let Anna take control. My wolf is a pure white one, and it is close to silver when the moonlight shines on my fur, which is said to be rare. She has emerald eyes, and her height is 58, which is a little bit tall for an average female werewolf. We ran through the forest, and even though I was going to reject my mate later, I felt happy that I got to be in my wolf form again after a long time. I love the feeling of dust, dirt, and mud on my paws, and the leaves and twigs on my fur. When I arrived at the border of our pack, I did what I thought I couldn't do many years ago. I had hoped and kept on dreaming that one day, even for once, they would love me, and they would cherish me like before. But sadly, that did not, and would never even happen. Instead, I had to endure 8 years of harsh treatment and insults from them, my own family and friends, the ones who promised to give their love and happiness to their darling daughter and princess. I changed back to my human form and stopped reminiscing and thinking altogether. I took a deep breath and slowly said, I, Aria, cut all my ties with the Blood Moon Pack. After I uttered those words with difficulty, I could feel my connection with the pack slowly disappearing. The link that kept us as one was severed. I shifted back to my wolf form and ran in the direction of the Moonstone Pack. After a while, I reached their border and decided to rest. As I was about to catch my breath, someone blocked my way and started to approach me menacingly. I forgot that, basically, right now, I'm a rogue since I don't have a pack I belong to. I tried to face the guards with much effort. After a few minutes, I could already feel that I was close to getting past them, because out of the 3 wolves who were patrolling, I had already managed to get by 2 of them, and I was down to the last one. Just as I was about to maneuver past the last wolf standing, a brown wolf came and pushed me hard in my stomach. I fell to the ground and I could feel a deep discomfort from where the wolf had struck me. I almost lost my mind along with my consciousness because of the discomfort, but I still kept myself awake with much effort. I looked carefully at the massive brown wolf in front of me. That was when I realized, from his scent, that I knew him. He is Alpha Theo, my mate who rejected me. I lost my will to fight and stopped all attempts of trying to stand up. I turned back to my human form and faced him. Theo looked a bit shocked when he saw me, but his expression became cold in an instant. He looked like he saw something shameful and displeasing when he looked at me, and that made my heart ache more. You may all leave now. I can handle this on my own, he said to his pack members who were on patrol. They gave him a nod and helped the other members whom I had pushed past earlier, and then they left. After making sure that no one was there other than the 2 of us, he looked at me fiercely. What are you doing here? Making a scene after I rejected you, he said harshly. And that hurt me more. I thought my mate would be the one who would save me from my misfortunes and all the harsh treatment, but I guess it was just a pointless dream, because he was the first one to reject me and think of me as a disgraceful woman without knowing me. His mate. I just came here to say that I, Aria of the Blood Moon Pack, accept your rejection, I said. He twitched when he heard that, and there was a flash of sadness on his face for a second, but it disappeared instantly. I could feel our mate bond starting to disappear until it was totally gone, and we were like strangers to each other. Then I transformed back into my wolf form, running away from him and his pack lands, to who knows where, since I had left my own pack. I was sitting in my office when one of my patrols on the pack border mind-linked me that there was a rogue trying to get in. Can't they even manage a simple job like that? I thought to myself. Then I stood up and headed to the pack's border in my wolf form. When I arrived, I saw a pure white wolf, who I suspect was the rogue, trying to get into our territory. I ran towards the wolf when she wasn't paying attention, and I struck her stomach using my paw. The she-wolf stopped her advance and she transformed back into her human form. It's mate! She's back, said Tyler in our mind link for the first time after he had been silent with me since I rejected our mate. I know, I replied. I ordered my pack members to retreat and leave us alone, and I made sure only the 2 of us were left there so as to prevent anything between us from leaking out and being known to others. Then I looked at her fiercely. I still couldn't let go of my facade, so I asked her harshly, "What are you doing here?" "Making a scene after I rejected you." "Don't talk to mate like that. Apologize," Tyler said, but I let my pride get the better of me, so I didn't say anything. What she said next left me shocked and helpless. I just came here to say that I, Aria of the Blood Moon Pack, accept your rejection, she said. With that, my world started to collapse. My mate just accepted my rejection. How foolish of me to reject her, I thought to myself. I could feel regret slowly overwhelming my whole body. Mate accepted our rejection. I am so disappointed in you, Tyler growled to me. Then he blocked our connection and didn't want to talk to me after that. Aria transformed and left in her wolf form. At the same time, I didn't even get to say a word. After I ran away from Theo, I saw a clearing, so I rested my head against one of the tree trunks and let myself succumb to sleep. Still, in my wolf form, the ache where he struck me was still there because it was a hard blow, and my healing is not that good since I have been rejected and mistreated. So I heal slower than any other wolves. Tomorrow, I will look for a pack I can join or travel as a lone wolf or a rogue. We were patrolling on our borders when I saw a white wolf lying by a tree trunk, and her stomach seemed to be causing her pain. So I immediately mind-linked our Alpha, telling him the situation. Alpha, there is a she-wolf lying here on our border. I think she is injured, and she looks like a lone wolf rather than a rogue. I'm coming. Be sure to guard her until I get there. Don't let her escape, the Alpha said through our mind link. Yes, Alpha, I replied. When my Beta reported that there was a lone wolf on our border, I immediately headed there. I saw the she-wolf. She was lying by a tree trunk with a deep mark on her stomach, just what my Beta reported earlier. Take her to the dungeons and see to her injuries there, I ordered. But she's not a rogue. Why bring her to the dungeons? My Beta named Josh asked. We have to be prepared in case she is not a good wolf. We need to think about the safety of our pack, I said, using my Alpha voice. Yes, Alpha, they replied in unison. They carried the she-wolf to the dungeons and tended to her injuries. When I woke up, I found myself in a cell in the dungeon of a pack. Great, after being mistreated and rejected, now I am a prisoner, I thought to myself. Why can't I just disappear? Why can't they just let me go? I remembered I was still in wolf form, so I changed back. A good thing I know how to shift with my clothes on. After I finished shifting back, I looked around and saw stains and silver chains. Oh, this is where they hold their prisoners, I thought. Then the door of the cell opened and a man my age entered. He looked at my features, then focused on my eyes. He asked, "What are you doing on our pack border?" I was just passing by, and I didn't know that it was a part of your territory, I answered truthfully. But he didn't believe me. What a lame excuse. It seems that our Alpha is right. You have a motive in coming here, he said slowly and harshly. I already told you. I just passed by. I didn't mean to trespass in your territory, I argued. Well then, tell me your name and which pack you came from, he ordered. I am Aria and I came from, I said, trailing off. What is the name of your pack? He yelled, obviously losing his patience. I came from the Blood Moon Pack, I answered just above a whisper. When I said the name of my pack, it all came rushing back to me. The mistreatment, and most of all, the rejection. It made my chest hurt like someone was squeezing it hard, but I still maintained a poker face in front of the man who was interrogating me. He asked again what my purpose was, but my chest was starting to tighten, making it hard for me to breathe. So I stayed silent. Then he said, "You will still not state your purpose for coming here, so I'll leave you be." Then he left. After he was gone, my chest started to feel better, so I looked around. Well, this is much better than staying out in the rain and heat. But gosh, this dungeon smells gross, I said to myself and sat back down. Thankfully, they didn't put handcuffs on me, so I could move freely in my cell. It's been a long time, and I started to feel hungry and thirsty, but no one came to bring me food or even water. I just lay on the floor and waited for my doom to come. Maybe because of tiredness and fatigue, coupled with stress, and most of all hunger and thirst, I blacked out again. Josh came back to my room and reported that the she-wolf we put in the dungeon didn't want to talk about her purpose. Alpha. She didn't talk about her purpose, but she said her name and the pack where she came from, said Josh. So what is it? I asked impatiently. She said that she is Aria from the Blood Moon Pack, and she didn't know that this is our territory, so she slept by one of the tree trunks, he answered. What? She accidentally slept? Do you think I will believe that kind of reasoning? Is she taking me for a fool? I asked, a bit agitated. Does she think she can fool me like that? Well, I also told her that. But she kept saying that it was not her intention to trespass in our territory, Josh replied. I'll talk to her next time. Don't bring her food and water, maybe she will tell the truth by then. Yes, Alpha, Josh replied. Then he left. I woke up and I felt my throat dry because I hadn't drunk a drop of water since I came here. I think it has been 5 days, and not only am I skinny to the point where my bones are already visible, I am also smelly, and I think that I will pass out any time. But I don't want a slow, painful end. I am also the first in the history of werewolves who is an alpha's daughter who passed away because of hunger, I thought. Hold on a little longer, Anna said through our mind link. I can't. I'm so tired that I don't want to continue living and feeling the pain anymore, I replied. My body is already giving up on me. My vision started to have black spots. Even though they didn't hurt me, they didn't give me food or water either, so it's like a slow fading for me. I saw a shard of glass on the side of my cell. I picked it up and stared at it for a minute or two. I wish I wasn't born and I didn't exist in this world. No, Aria, don't say that, Anna said. No, I'm just a mistake. I shouldn't have existed, I shouted through our mind link. You're not a mistake. You are you. It's their fault that they didn't love you or cherish you, Anna said, calming me down. I'm still here, Aria. No matter what happened, we are in this together, she said. Thank you for your support, but I can't do it anymore. I'm so tired of my life. I wish I was the one who passed away and my brother was the one who survived. Since I am good for nothing, I hope no one will miss me, I whispered to myself, bringing the shard of glass to my chest close to my heart. No, Anna shouted in our mind link, but it slowly faded away until I heard and saw nothing but darkness as I slowly fell on the cold floor of the cell. While I was training with my pack on the grounds, I suddenly felt a pang of pain in my chest, and it started to get worse, to the point that I fell on the ground. My beta helped me stand. Then suddenly, I remembered the she-wolf that we caught last time. It's been 5 days since Josh talked to her, and I ordered him not to give her any food or water. I started to run towards the dungeon. Even though my chest still hurt, when I arrived inside, the pain got worse than before. But I tried my best to go to her cell. When I was close enough, I smelled something metallic, so I ran faster. When I arrived at her cell and saw her condition, it shocked me that my tears started welling up in my eyes, and they fell, one by one. I got to her side fast and checked her pulse. Thankfully, she was still alive, barely. I picked her up. She was so skinny, and there were dark bags under her eyes while her hair was disheveled. I pitied her. I should have given her food and water. While I was running towards the pack doctor, my wolf was trying to mind-link me, so I let him, and what he said shocked me to the core. Mate, my wolf Evan growled. Mate is fading faster, he added, and I complied. When we arrived at the pack doctor, she immediately helped me and tended to my mate's condition. Don't worry, Alpha, we will treat her, the pack doctor named Mina said. Okay, please save her, I replied, worried. I will, but you have to move aside, Mina answered. But, Josh interrupted me and said, Alpha, let's wait outside so that they can do their work. You know my mate, she can save her, Josh said, and I growled at him, but I involuntarily followed. After an hour, Mina came out of the operating room saying that my mate was now in a stable condition, but she didn't know when Aria would wake up, and that angered me. She also told me that apart from being malnourished, she also had so many other old injuries and aches that had been left untreated for a long time. After Mina left, I entered my mate's room and sat by her side. My wolf was worried for her. I could feel it. I gently touched her hand and caressed her cheeks, but she flinched a little at my actions. I didn't even know about her injuries. I should have asked the one who tended to her wounds in the dungeon. But why didn't I feel the sparks when I first saw her? I asked my wolf. When you first saw her, she had just accepted her first mate's rejection, so it is normal that you would not feel your connection with her, Evan answered. I growled at his answer, but when I saw my mate flinch and her face became contorted like someone was going to be unkind to her, I stopped myself from making loud noises, and I placed my head beside her, caressing her face with my hand. With that position, I fell asleep. It's been a week since I found my mate lying on the cold floor of her cell in the dungeons, frail and barely alive. I have stayed with her in the pack hospital for almost a week, and she still hasn't woken up since. I also did my pack work there so that I would be the first one to know if she woke up. Josh asked me several times that I should rest at the pack house and he would guard my mate, but I always refused his help. The door opened and Josh came in. Alpha, I will take care of the Luna. Please rest for a while and take a bath in your house. You already stink, he said. I threw the tissue box near me at Josh, and he simply avoided it, so it fell on the floor. You shut up. You even have the nerve to joke with me. I can take care of her by myself, and you can go now, I said with a hint of seriousness, at the same time a joking tone. Okay, Alpha, I understand. With that he left, but he didn't forget to remind me to take a bath. After some time, Aria's hand started moving from my touch. Then she slowly opened her eyes, and that made me happy. I slowly opened my eyes but immediately closed them again because of the blinding light. Ah, the lights. I forgot, someone said. I already dimmed them so you can open your eyes now, said the same voice. Again, I slowly opened my eyes, and this time I succeeded. I saw the most handsome man in my life. He had black hair with golden yellow eyes. I looked at his lips, and I wanted to kiss them so badly. That's when I realized that he was my mate. I could smell his scent. It was like vanilla with a hint of coffee. I don't understand. My mate already rejected me, I said to myself. I know you have many questions and I will answer them one by one, he said. I want her. I tried forming a sentence, but my throat was so dry, so I asked for water. Oh, here, drink this, he said, giving me a glass of water. I took big gulps of water, easing my dry throat. Be careful, no one's gonna get it from you, my mate reminded. After drinking the whole glass, I felt refreshed, and my throat was not so dry and itchy anymore. Who are you? I asked, my voice still husky. I'm Ethan Twilight, Alpha of the Twilight Moon Pack, and you are my mate, he replied. How can I be your mate? That's impossible. My mate just rejected me before I came here, I said, a little bit upset and shocked by the mate thing. Well, I know that you were rejected by your first mate when you came here, so you didn't feel sparks or whatsoever when we first met, he said, explaining the situation. But how did you know? About my rejection, she said. Then she started trembling, maybe remembering her rejection. I came by her side and hugged her. At first she flinched, but she soon stopped trembling and her body relaxed. Then she snuggled in my arms. My wolf Evan can feel it through the bond, I replied. Will you also reject me? She asked, obviously scared of being rejected again. No, how can I reject you? I waited for you for a long time, I said, a little bit agitated by her question. She suddenly looked scared, so I lowered my voice and patted her head to calm her. I will never reject you. Always remember that I will always cherish you and make you my one and only Luna, I said to her. But Theo said before that I am too weak to be a Luna of a pack. And that is also the reason why he rejected me, she said. Then she started sobbing silently. I couldn't help but growl. How dare he say that to my mate? Shh. It's okay. Stop crying now. I'm here for you. We will rule this pack together, I promised her. Who said that you are weak? Now that I am close to you, I can feel the aura of an alpha, even though it's weak, I added. Really? She asked. Yes. I can feel it. By the way, who are your parents? You said you came from the Blood Moon pack, but the Alpha and Luna of that pack don't have a daughter. They have a son, but he already passed away, I said. I could see the sadness in her eyes. It was like she was so hurt and affected by what I said. I am the Alpha and Luna's second child. I guess they didn't bother to introduce me as their child, since I'm the reason why their next Alpha is gone, she said, with tears falling from her eyes. What happened? Why do they blame you? I asked again, but this time she didn't answer. What happened? Why do they blame you? Ethan asked, but I didn't answer. I don't want to tell him about my past because I'm afraid that he will also be displeased by me and reject me, just like what others do when they get to know my past. Maybe now is not the time to talk about that, I said, fidgeting in my seat. Oh well, I will not force you to tell me if you're not ready yet, he said, and that made me relax and calm down. Thanks, I would love that, I replied. Are you hungry? I'll ask someone to bring us food if you want to, he said, changing the topic. Sure, I'm also kinda hungry, I said shyly. Wait, I'll mind link Josh to bring us food, Ethan said. Then he focused on talking to his beta through mindlink. I was with my mate, watching the television in our living room when Ethan mind-linked me. Can you bring us food? He asked. Sure, I replied. But what do you mean by us? My mate is already awake. Now hurry up. She is hungry, he said calmly. Okay, I will bring food for you too. I will also ask Mina to come with me, I replied. Babe, Aria is awake, and Ethan is asking me to bring food. Do you want to check on her? I asked my mate, since she is our pack doctor, so she should check Aria's condition. Sure. Come now, she said. Then she headed to our room to change clothes, and I did the same. What kind of food can we buy for Aria, by the way? I asked, looking in my mate's direction. We are now heading to the hospital to bring food for them. She only woke up from being unconscious, so light food is the only thing she can eat. You can buy her porridge or soup. As for Ethan, you know what his favorite is, so you can manage, she said with a smile. Yes, ma'am. I will buy it now, I said, and she started to laugh. I will go there first to check on Aria's condition, she said and kissed me on the cheek. Then she entered the pack's hospital. I helped Aria find a better lying position on the hospital bed when someone knocked at the door. I let her in, and guess who it was? Mina, the doctor who checked on her and the mate of my beta. So how are you feeling, Aria? Are you uncomfortable anywhere? She asked. I'm fine. Just a little sore, Aria replied. Well then, that's great. Maybe by tomorrow you can go home. We will just observe you for the night to see if there is any problem or infection with your healing, since you heal slower than normal werewolves, Mina explained while checking Aria's condition and placing a new set of bandages on her. Thank you, Aria replied. Ethan, can I talk to you outside for a minute? Mina asked me. Sure, I replied. Even though I didn't want to leave my mate alone, I followed Mina outside because maybe what she had to say was important. We started talking when we were out of Aria's earshot. What are we going to talk about? That we have to leave Aria alone, I asked. So far, her body is healing, but her wolf is still not showing its presence because she is still weak and malnourished, she started. Will her wolf come back? I asked, starting to panic. Yes, her wolf will come back when her body is back to its shape, she said, calming me down, but there was still a frown plastered on my face. But I'm not sure about her mental state. She seemed shaken, and we have to always keep her calm so that she will not do what she did last time. Also, when I was checking her, there were traces of cuts and bruises on her body, and I think it's from mistreatment, she sadly mentioned, and that made me growl and frown even more. She also has some aches and other injuries that were left untreated for a long time, she added. Who in the world would dare to harm my mate? I yelled, fuming in anger. Calm down, she will hear you, Mina warned, so I shut my mouth and tried to think about it silently. Oh, here comes Josh, Mina said, getting my attention. Alpha, I brought your food and of course your mate's food, Josh said politely. Thanks, Mina. Let's talk about it later, I told her. Of course. I'll wait for you later, Alpha, Mina replied with a serious expression. She and Josh left after that. Then I got back to Aria's room in the hospital and brought her our food. After Ethan mind-linked his beta to bring us food, he helped me get comfortable in my lying position. A while later, a woman who looked like a doctor entered my room. So, how are you feeling, Aria? Are you uncomfortable anywhere? She asked. I'm fine. Just a little sore, I replied. Well then, that's great. Maybe by tomorrow you can go home. We will just observe you for the night to see if there is any problem or infection with your healing, since you heal slower than normal werewolves, she explained while checking me over and placing a new set of bandages on me. Thank you, I replied. After that, she asked Ethan to go out with her. Even though he looked like he didn't want to leave me, he followed her outside of my room. After a long time, they hadn't gotten back, and I was starting to get bored and hungrier. I slowly stood up from my bed and headed to the door. I could hear Ethan and the woman talking, but the words were not clear. I only understood the words wolf and mental. I tried placing my ear close to the door so I could hear more, but I got scared when I heard Ethan yell. Who in the world would dare to harm my mate? He yelled, and right now I think he was fuming with anger. The woman said something to him, but it was inaudible, so I stopped eavesdropping and laid back down on my bed. After a minute or two, Ethan came back with some porridge for me and another set of food for him. He explained that I could only eat light meals for now since I had just woken up. We ate happily, talking about our favorite things and hobbies. I am thankful that he didn't ask about my past and we just happily enjoyed our day and conversations. After eating, we watched the television. Then I fell asleep in his arms. The next day, I woke up and saw Ethan still sleeping by my side. I carefully wrapped my arms around him and observed his face, taking in every feature that I saw. I also touched his nose and traced his jawline. How gorgeous he is, I thought. Like what you see? He asked, his eyes still closed. I'm not looking at you, Don't be so proud of yourself, I said with a slightly mad and joking tone. You still want to deny it even though I caught you already, he said, teasing me. Well, you didn't catch me because your eyes are still closed, I replied. How did you know that my eyes are still closed if you didn't look at me? He fired back, and that made me blush. I like what I'm seeing. Maybe you can blush more in the future, he added, which made my face redder. Let's prepare now. It's the day I can get discharged, I said, changing the topic. Oh well, I will ask Mina to bring clothes for you to change into, he said. Then he started to mind link who I think was Mina. By the way, who is Mina? I asked. He looked at me shocked, like he saw a ghost. Then he started laughing. I forgot to introduce her to you. She is the doctor who checked on you yesterday, and she is my beta's mate, he explained. Josh is the name of my beta, just in case you don't know, he added. Oh, so she will lend me clothes? I asked. Yep, I think her clothes will fit you. Or do you want to walk outside wearing a hospital gown? He teased. I grunted, and he tickled me, making me laugh so hard that I lost my breath. Let's stop for now, or else I won't be able to stop myself later, he said with a wink. You, I said. Then I started blushing. You're blushing again, he teased. Well, I'll settle your discharge papers now so we can leave, he said. Then he left me in the room. A while later, someone knocked at the door. I let the person in, and it was Mina. She brought clothes for me. Hi, she said enthusiastically. Hello, I replied happily. I brought you some clothes, see if they will fit, Mina said, and she handed me the clothes along with a pair of white sneakers. I reached for the paper bag with clothes, then headed to the bathroom to change into them. After I finished putting them on, I faced the mirror to admire myself. Surprisingly, the clothes fit, and I love the color of the blouse. It was a dusty rose pink. I got out of the bathroom and saw that Ethan had returned. He looked at me, then smiled. You look as beautiful as a rose, he said. Then he kissed me on the lips, and I blushed. I couldn't count how many times I had blushed when I was with Ethan and he started teasing me. Oh, stop it, lovebirds. I'm still here. I don't want to witness any more of this, Mina teased. And I blushed more, embarrassed by what she said. Okay, let's stop here, Ethan said. Then he led me to the door, and we locked our hands together as we walked out of the hospital to the pack house. On our way, people were staring at me. Some of them were curious, while some of them looked like I had stolen something from them. And I laughed in my thoughts. Seems like my mate is a heartthrob here in his pack. You bet he is. That's why I love him, especially his wolf, Anna said. You're back, I said with excitement and happiness through the mind link. Yes, I am. I missed you so much, she replied with the same humor in her voice. I smiled, happy that my wolf was back. Ethan seemed to have noticed my happiness because he asked, What's the matter? Why do you look so happy? I have good news. My wolf is back, I said with excitement. That's great, he said. Then he gave me a light peck on my lips. We arrived at the pack house at last. You might think that it was a long walk, but no. We were just walking slowly. That's why it took us a while to get there. We arrived at the door, and we were greeted by a girl younger than me. You're back at last, she said to Ethan. Yes, I am. Now go back to your room and don't disturb Aria, he said in a soft tone. The girl complied, but she was a little bit sad. We headed to our room, and Ethan let me rest, saying he would call me for lunch. When he left me in what I think was our room, I wandered around and took a look at his things until I saw a book. I opened it and started reading. I got so immersed in the book that I didn't notice the time. After I finished preparing lunch with my pack members, I came back to our room to call Aria. I saw her reading a book and she seemed very interested in it, so much that she didn't even feel my presence. I tiptoed my way to her, then hugged her from her back, making her startled. What are you doing? She asked. I'm calling you for lunch, I replied. That's a nice way of calling someone, huh? You almost gave me a heart attack, she said while pretending to be angry. You are still alive, aren't you? So my prank isn't that bad, I said nonchalantly. Okay, I'm still alive, so we might as well go to the dining room to eat our lunch if you don't want me to get upset, she said jokingly. Try me, I said with a smirk, and she blushed, realizing what she just said. Jerk, she told me, and she stood up, walking towards the door. What are you waiting for? Let's go, she urged. So I also stood up and followed her to the pack house's dining room. We started eating while talking about our favorite hobbies and many other things. After we finished, Aria helped the other pack members in cleaning the dining table, and I gladly helped her. I could see the shocked and curious looks of my pack members. Maybe this was the first time they had seen me clean a table, since I always let others do this. Because first, I am their alpha. And second, I have so much pack work to do that I don't even have free time for myself. After we finished cleaning the table, we headed to the living room and watched a movie on the television. We watched like 3 movies in a row, so when the 3rd movie finished, my mate was already asleep beside me. I carefully picked her up so as not to wake her. I headed to our room with her in my arms, then I lay her gently on the bed, and I also lay down beside her. I cupped her face and said, "Good night, my love." Then I kissed her on the lips. I fell asleep thinking about her, and what our future would look like. It's been 2 months now since I stayed here in the pack house, even though others still don't know me. Some already recognized me as their Luna, and I already forgave Josh about what happened in the cell. It's not his fault, though. He had to follow the Alpha's command, so I don't blame him. Of course, I can't blame Ethan either since I love him and he is my mate. I am a little thankful to him that he only left me without food and didn't hurt me, knowing I was a rogue or maybe a lone wolf. So going back, I even got a few friends other than Mina, and the naughtiest of them all is Ethan's younger sister, Lucy. She kept on nagging me that we should go shopping and that I should stop wearing Ethan's clothes, but what can I do? I love his smell so much, and I've been wearing his clothes for 2 months now because I can't borrow all of Mina's clothes. Maybe now is the time to go to the mall so we can buy you clothes, she asked. Well, I don't know. I feel comfortable in Ethan's clothes, I answered, unsure. Even though you're comfortable with his clothes, I'm not comfortable seeing you look like a walking scarecrow because of his giant-sized clothes, she said teasingly. And I blushed. Seems like I can't disagree with you anymore, I said, and she smiled happily. Go now and take a bath. I will lend you my clothes, 'cause I don't want you to look like a walking scarecrow when we go shopping, she teased. Yes, Your Highness, I replied, teasing her in return. I headed to the bathroom and took a bath for a while, carefully scrubbing myself. I traced my old scars and I remembered my past. How they mistreated me and didn't love me like their own daughter. I noticed my tears started falling, so I put all the memories about the mistreatment at the back of my mind, hopefully forgetting about it. Then, I wiped my tears and finished my bath. When I got out, I saw a pink blouse and white skirt lying on the bed with flat shoes on the floor. I carefully put them on, and they fit pretty well on me. I don't know, but they always lend me something pink. Maybe they think it's my favorite color. I laughed at my thoughts. I got out of the room and saw Lucy and Mina already prepared to go, and I was the only one they were waiting for. Took you long enough to dress, but I love it. It suits you well, Lucy teased. And again, I blushed. We got in one of Ethan's cars, and Josh was our driver. Half an hour later, we arrived at the mall. Lucy excitedly entered, and we looked from shop to shop until Lucy picked the suitable clothes for me. After buying my clothes, we headed to the shoe section of the mall, and Lucy bought me all kinds of shoes like sneakers, sandals, stilettos, flat shoes, and many more. I wanted to stop her from buying everything from the shops, but she said that I should just relax and wait. When we got out of the mall, it was already dark, like 7. 0 inches the evening. That shopping surely drained all my energy. We arrived at the pack house 30 minutes later, and mind you, I was so hungry because we didn't get to eat earlier. I didn't know that Lucy was so into shopping that we forgot to eat lunch. We entered the pack house and Ethan enveloped me in a tight hug, saying he missed me so much. Brother, you don't have to be so overacting. We just went shopping. It's not like I took your mate for a year, Lucy said. Then she smirked. You're starting to be a brat now, huh? Ethan said, earning a laugh from everyone. We sat at the dining table to eat dinner, then we headed to our rooms to rest for the day. After we finished dinner, we headed to our rooms to rest. I waited for Aria to fall asleep, then I stood up and went to my office. I still had to finish my pack work because I didn't get to do them all since I love spending time with Aria. Until now, she hasn't said anything about her old pack, and I'm starting to worry. I buried myself in the documents about the pack when I saw a letter from another pack saying that a female rogue named Aria had caused trouble for many pack members and ran away. Now her pack was looking for her. Because of my tiredness and fatigue, I couldn't stop myself. I stood up and headed to our room. Then I opened the door and walked beside her. I shook her awake, and she looked at me with sleepy eyes while I showed her the letter. What is this? She asked. Isn't it obvious? You caused issues in your pack, then ran away, and here you are saying that they mistreated you and you escaped, I said, with anger laced in my voice. No, I didn't hurt anyone. Why would I lie to you? I love you. They are the ones who are lying. You have to at least try to believe me. I'm your mate, she said, tears starting to flow down her face. Although I love her and it hurts for me to see her like this, I need to know the truth. How am I supposed to believe you when I don't even know you that well? I yelled, throwing her the letter from her pack. You said you love me, she said between sobs. Yes, I love you. But you have to be honest with me if you want me to fully trust you, I said, trying to calm myself. What can I do for you to trust me? She asked. Let me mark you, I said firmly with no hesitation in my voice. Oh, so that's what you want all along? To mark me so I can be yours and you will be stronger, she said. No emotion evident in her voice and her face. No, I want to mark you so I can know your true feelings and what you are thinking about, I said with a pleading voice. So all this time you didn't trust anything I said? She asked angrily. No, I trust you. I just want to make sure I can always feel you so I can protect you when you are in danger. That's why I want to mark you. And don't worry, we will not do the second part of mating. I just want to mark you so that I can mind link you and protect you when needed, I explained. Her facial expression softened, and she said, Okay, I will let you mark me, but you have to let me mark you too. Who am I to reject my mate's mark? I said. Mark me, she said. I was sleeping peacefully when someone shook me awake, and guess who it was? My mate. I looked at him sleepily. Then he showed me a letter that made me instantly awake. What is this? I asked. Isn't it obvious? You caused issues in your pack, then ran away, and here you are saying that they mistreated you and you escaped, he said with anger laced in his voice. No, I didn't hurt anyone. Why would I lie to you? I love you. They are the ones who are lying. You have to at least try to believe me. I'm your mate, I said, tears starting to flow down my face. How am I supposed to believe you when I don't even know you that well? He yelled, throwing me the letter from my pack. You said you love me? I said between sobs. Yes, I love you. But you have to be honest with me if you want me to fully trust you, he said, trying to calm himself. What can I do for you to trust me? I asked. Let me mark you, he said firmly with no hesitation in his voice, and that made me shocked. I could feel my hands tightening into fists. Oh, so that's what you want all along? To mark me so I can be yours and you will be stronger, I said, no emotion evident in my face and in my voice. No, I want to mark you so I can know your true feelings and what you are thinking about, he said with a pleading voice. So all this time you didn't trust anything I said? I asked angrily. No, I trust you. I just want to make sure I can always feel you so I can protect you when you are in danger. That's why I want to mark you. And don't worry, we will not do the second part of mating. I just want to mark you so that I can mind link you and protect you when needed, he explained. My facial expression softened. But in my heart, I still wasn't ready. But I said, Okay, I will let you mark me. But you have to let me mark you too. Of course. Who am I to reject my mate's mark? He said to me. Mark me, I said with courage. I tilted my head to the side to give him more space. He slowly bent his head and kissed my neck before baring his fangs and thrusting them into the place where he was marking me. I screamed in pain as his fangs pierced my neck. After a while, the pain was washed with pleasure as he licked my neck to soothe the spot. I looked in the mirror and saw my mark. It was a moon with a black wolf under it. It's finished. Love. You can mark me now if you want to, he said happily. Of course I will mark you. It's unfair that only I will feel the pain today, I said flirtatiously. He also tilted his neck to the side like what I did, and I also kissed his neck. Then I started baring my fangs. I pierced them in his neck. But unlike me, he didn't shout. Instead, he balled his hands into fists. A while later, I heard him moan. Oh, that's painful, but at the same time good, he said, his voice a little husky. That's it. Let's sleep, I said and lay back down on the bed. But what about the letter? He asked. Let's talk about it tomorrow. I'm sleepy already, I replied, and he lay down by my side, placing me in his arms. Good night, love, he said. Good night, Ethan, I replied, closing my eyes. It's so good, Anna said. Yeah, I love the feeling of it, I replied. It hurts at first, but then the pleasure makes me want to, she said. But I cut her off. Don't you dare say it or I will block you, I threatened. You can't do anything to me. You can't touch me in the first place, she said jokingly. Well, it'll just block our mind link. Good night. I said. Then I blocked our mind link before she could say anything to dirty my mind. I woke up early in the morning with a smile on my lips. I remembered what happened last night. Even though there were some misunderstandings between me and Aria, she still let me mark her. And in return, I let her mark me. I looked at myself in the mirror and I saw my mark. It had a moon with a white wolf. After admiring my mate's mark for a while, I approached Aria, then kissed her on the lips, and I also admired my mark between her neck and shoulder. Then I headed to the bathroom and took a shower. I had to be early today because there was a lot of pack work. When I got out of the bathroom, I saw that Aria was already awake. "Morning, love," I said. "Good morning," she replied sleepily but with a smile on her lips. "What will we do today?" she asked. "Well, I have some very important pack work to finish, so Mina and Lucy will accompany you today to your training. And my Gamma will train you," I said. "Sure," she answered happily. "What happened yesterday, by the way?" I asked, and she started her rant, saying that she didn't get to eat lunch and that Lucy was so into shopping. "Whoa, it's okay now. You will not go shopping today, so you will not be stressed," I said, stopping her long rant. "Okay, I'll take a bath now. You can leave if you need to," she said, and started walking towards the bathroom. "Bye, see you later," I shouted so that she could hear me from the bathroom. "Bye, take care," she shouted back, and with that, I headed to my office. After taking a bath, I looked in the mirror to admire my mark, then I headed to Ethan's closet and got sweatpants and a shirt from his set of clothes. I really love his smell, I thought. "You bet I do," answered Anna through the mind link. "Oh, shut up. Just mind your own business," I said, chuckling. "Yes, ma'am. I'll leave now," she said with a voice that pretended to be hurt. When I finished wearing my clothes, or should I say Ethan's clothes, I headed to the dining room to eat breakfast. "What in the world are you wearing?" Lucy said, eyeing my clothes. "Ethan's clothes," I said. "But we just bought clothes yesterday. Where are they?" she asked, starting to panic. "Of course, Your Highness, you have to wash new clothes, or else you will feel uncomfortable wearing them," I explained in a matter-of-fact tone. I also love teasing her by calling her Your Highness. That makes sense. "Then let's eat," she replied, dropping the matter about the clothes. After we finished our breakfast, we headed to the pack grounds to start my training. I saw a green-haired man, almost as tall as Josh. "Good morning, Luna. My name is Liam Black, and you can call me Liam," he said. "My name is Aria, and well, you can call me Aria. It is much better than Luna." "That's too formal," I replied. "But that's a sign of disrespect," he said, clearly worried. "You can call me Aria privately, but if we are with others, especially the ones we're not that close with, you can address me as Luna," I said, and that calmed him down. We started our training with me running around the pack house to test my agility and stamina. Then I did hand-to-hand combat with Liam. He said, "Your stamina is good, as well as your fighting knowledge." "I'm an alpha's daughter, after all," I said. Then a stray tear escaped my eyes. I immediately wiped my face using my hand. "You're an alpha's daughter?" he asked. "Yes. It's a long story, but now I'm not their daughter anymore," I said sadly. "I will not ask about your past since it's not for me to know," he said. Then we came back to our training. We finished our training at 6, then we entered the pack house for dinner. We didn't talk much this time since I wasn't in the mood to talk to anyone. I'm glad they felt it, so we ate in silence. After we finished, we headed to the living room to watch movies. After we finished watching a movie, we went to our rooms to rest for the day. "What is it, love?" Ethan asked me when we entered our room. "It's nothing," I said tiredly. "I know it is something. Mind sharing it with me?" he asked with expectations. So I sighed and said, "I just remembered my past." "Well, you can tell me," he said. I don't know if I'm ready to tell it to anyone," I said. Hesitation was evident in my voice. "I'll wait till you're ready, love," he said with understanding, and I felt touched. "I think you have the right to know," I said. Then I started narrating my past to him. I was playing by the lake near our pack's border with my brother. We were both in our wolf form. I was so happy that he agreed when I asked him to play with me. We were splashing each other with cold water from the lake when suddenly we heard some twigs snapping. "Did you hear that?" Andrew asked me. "Yes, and what is that smell?" I replied. "Rogues," he said. I stood in my fighting stance, preparing myself for the sudden attack. Slowly, rogues started emerging from behind the trees, and it wasn't just one or two, but there were at least 20 in total. Even though my brother and I were good fighters, we couldn't defeat so many rogues. We started fighting with them, and a little later, my brother said, "We can't defeat them. They are so many. Now do this. I will cover for you. And you go back to the pack house and ask for help." Instead of following his order, I said to him, "I will just send a signal asking for help, and maybe they will come in time." I howled loudly, asking for help, hoping our pack members could hear it. After some time, Andrew and I both got tired and we both acquired a lot of injuries, when suddenly, a rogue jumped from my back, aiming at my neck. I tried to fight back, but Andrew pushed me, and he was the one who got hurt in the neck. I watched in horror as that rogue grabbed my brother's neck, causing a deep injury. That's when my father, with our pack members, came, and they started chasing off the rogues. I transformed back into my human form and ran towards Andrew. "What happened? Why did you do that?" I asked him, crying loudly by his side. "I have to save you. You are my sister. I will always protect you. But why do you have to sacrifice yourself? Who will lead our pack in the future? Who will be the next alpha? You are more important than that position. I can't hold on any longer. Promise me you'll take care of Mom and Dad," he said weakly. I promise. Just don't leave me. Please just stay by my side," I cried harder. "I will always be with you, Princess," he said, not more than a whisper. Then he slowly closed his eyes. "No, Andrew, you can't leave me," I wailed, and it started raining, like the sky could feel my resentment and, at the same time, my devastation over my brother's death. My father approached us. When he saw that my brother had passed, tears started to fall from his eyes, and after a moment, he howled loudly, mourning over my brother's death. We stayed in that position for some time. Then one of the pack members said, "Alpha, we have to go back." "Let's go. Carry my son carefully," my father replied. His beta, along with other pack members, carefully picked up my brother's body, and they brought it to the pack house. When we got back, my mother was waiting for us, and she cried hysterically when she saw my brother's state. She hugged his body and cried, saying she shouldn't have allowed us to go to the lake so that none of this would have happened. Then she saw me, and the next thing I knew, she grabbed my hair and started cursing at me. "This is all your fault. If you didn't ask your brother to go to that stupid lake, he would have still been alive," she shouted. When my father heard this, he walked towards me. "Help me, Dad. This is not my fault. I only asked brother to play with me," I pleaded, crying hard. "I thought he would help me and stop Mother from hurting me, but I was wrong." He raised his hand to my face and said, "I don't have a daughter like you who got her brother hurt. From now on, you are not my daughter anymore. You are a traitor to this pack. You got their next alpha taken. You will be a servant to us." "Father, please," I said, tears streaming down my face. "Don't call me father. I don't have a daughter like you," he spat. That was the day when my life started to crumble, and I became a traitor, servant, and a target for my pack's frustration. I didn't realize that I had started crying when I told Ethan the reason why my pack hated me. He hugged me and comforted me, saying it's not my fault. "But I am the reason why we were at the lake," I said, still crying. "Well, it's not your fault that rogues attacked you and your brother. They are the ones who caused his death, not you," he said. "But," I tried to argue, but he kissed me. After I calmed down, we fixed ourselves and lay in the bed. "Sleep tight, love," Ethan said lovingly. Then he fell asleep earlier than me, but I couldn't sleep, and I couldn't stop thinking about how my selfishness had led to my brother's passing. If I hadn't asked him to play at the lake with me, he might still be alive right now and ready to take on his alpha position, I thought to myself, and let the tears fall from my eyes freely. We woke up, still hugging each other. I could feel her emotions right now because of the mate bond. Seems like she still can't move on from her past, and she is still blaming herself for her brother's death. Her pack was also wrong to blame her since it wasn't her fault. She was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. After admiring her for a while and thinking about her past, I felt bad for her. I shouldn't have treated her like that when we first saw her in the forest. But I can't fully blame myself because she just wouldn't talk when we first met, and she entered my land without permission. Stupid. Of course she wouldn't talk to you since you're a stranger and you captured her and put her in the dungeons, my wolf, Evan said through MindLink. You can't blame me. I can't just risk my pack's safety for a she-wolf, I argued. Yeah, you're right. And that she-wolf is our freaking mate, he spat. It's also your fault. If you recognized her as our mate when we first saw her, I wouldn't have put her in the dungeons, I said, starting to get pissed. You, Evan said, but he got interrupted since our mate stirred in her sleep. I blocked Evan so he could stop his rants. I know that it was partly my fault that she almost faded before, but thankfully she survived. Babe, what are you thinking? Aria asked. I panicked, not knowing what to say. Say it. Don't worry. I will listen, she said calmly. Well, I want to say, I'm sorry for everything I did, I blurted out after a moment of hesitation. She asked, still uncertain. I put you in the dungeons without hearing your explanation first as to why you were here in our pack, I explained. I already forgave you for that. I know you just want the best for your pack, and you don't want to endanger them by having an unknown she-wolf roaming around in your territory, she said with a smile on her face. Thank you, I said, enveloping her in my arms. But you could have given me food. You know, you almost let me waste away, she said jokingly, but it hurt me because she had to go through that because of my stupid command. I'm really sorry. I didn't mean to do that. It's just I was in a bad mood when Josh informed me that you wouldn't talk and admit anything. That's why I ordered that on impulse, he said. I could feel sincerity in his voice, so of course, I chose to forgive him, not just because he is my mate, but because I know that he understood his mistake, and he was ready to make up for it. Okay, let's cut this drama, I said, smiling. I'm gonna take a shower. You want to join me? He asked mischievously. You bet I do, I replied, and I could see the shock that was evident on his face. Didn't expect that I'd agree, huh? I said teasingly. Of course you'll agree. You love me so much after all, he said with a proud smile. We took a shower together, teasing each other. After that, we put on our clothes. He wore a black shirt and white jogging pants paired with sneakers, and I wore a light blue sports bra with a matching light blue jogging pants, also paired with sneakers. Today, we were going to train with the pack members to strengthen our defense in case rogues or other packs launched an attack towards us. We headed to the pack grounds to train our fighting skills. You ready? Ethan asked. Of course, I'm always ready, I replied. He walked towards the small platform located in the middle of the pack grounds and stepped on it. Today we are going to train our combat skills so as to know our strengths and weaknesses and to be prepared for a sudden attack, he announced with authority in his voice. Yes, Alpha, we replied, earning a nod from him. We started our training with running around the pack's territory for 10 times. After that, we did hand-to-hand combat with our chosen partner, and of course, I chose Ethan. He was so good in a single combat, and his moves were powerful, direct, and agile. But I would not let him win easily. I also showcased my strengths, since I was also trained before as an Alpha's daughter. Can't believe you're that experienced in hand-to-hand combat, he praised. I'm still an Alpha's daughter, so I had to undergo training since I was a kid, I said and smiled sadly, reminiscing about the times when I was training with my brother. Oh, let's go back to training, he said, sensing the change in my mood. Sure, I replied. We trained for hours, then we ate lunch at the pack house with all the members of the pack. When we finished, we rested for a while, then we got back to our training. Ethan stepped on the platform again to announce something. Now that we've finished the first part of our training, we will proceed with the second part, and I will let my beta explain it to you, he said with the same authority in his voice as earlier. When Alpha Ethan called me, I stepped up to the stage and headed beside him. I explained to the pack members the second part of our training. A pack member will challenge another member. It can be anyone you want to challenge. After we determine who wins or the battle finishes, the winner can choose to stop the fight or challenge another member, while the loser will take his or her punishment, which is cleaning the pack house for a week along with the other losers of the game. It is better to challenge more members because the top 3 of this training will get merits from the Alpha. Of course, the Alpha can join the game if he wants to. By the way, I have a reminder. You can get your opponent to yield, but do not seriously injure them, and you can't use any weapon, but you can transform into your wolf form. If you violate any of these rules, you will either be kicked out of our pack to become a rogue or be given a serious punishment. Be careful, he added. After my beta finished explaining the rules of our training, or should I say game, I stepped up again and told my pack members to choose the first challenger. A woman named Lizzie volunteered to be the first one. I remembered that she was one of the pack women who always stuck to me until Aria came, and I reprimanded her and threatened to kick her out of the pack if she didn't stop trying to bother me. Even though she was troublesome, I could say that she had some skills in fighting. "I want to challenge our soon-to-be Luna," she said, and I became worried for Aria. Even though she was a wolf with alpha lineage, she hadn't fought and trained for a long time. But my worry changed to excitement when I saw Aria smirk. "Sure, who am I to reject your offer?" she said proudly with a smirk on her face. "Okay, now that you've picked your opponent, you can start any time. Remember the rules and be careful," I said with a bit of authority in my voice. When I heard that she wanted to challenge me, I gladly accepted it. I stepped into the middle of the pack grounds where the fight or game would happen and waited for my opponent. When she stepped up and came to me, we started our fight. She attacked me first with a punch to the face, but I avoided it. Then I kicked her in the stomach, and she retreated for about 5 to 6 steps. She lunged at me and punched me again in the face, but still, I avoided it. Then she kneed me in my stomach, making me retreat for a few steps. The fight went on like this until I tripped her and she fell face first on the ground. When she stood up, I could see that she was already fuming with anger. Then she lunged at me again, attempting to kick my stomach, but I grabbed one of her legs and trapped it in my arms. Then I punched her in her face, making her dizzy. I let go of her leg and she tried to punch me again, but I gave her a side kick to the face, and she fell on the ground, knocked out. "Okay, so our first game ends here, and obviously, our soon-to-be Luna won," Josh said happily, and some of the pack members cheered while others remained silent. "So Luna, do you want to challenge others?" Josh asked, looking at me. "Of course," I said proudly, and challenged at least 5 other women from our pack. After the 5th one, I looked like a ragged doll with bruises on my face and body, also including my dirty clothes. But the girls I fought with were in a worse condition than me, and they were all taken to the pack's hospital since one of them had a sprained thigh, the other had a dislocated arm, while the other 3 all had a bruised nose. For the 6th time, Josh asked me worriedly, "Luna, do you still want to continue?" "Not anymore. I'm tired now and there is still tomorrow," I replied, catching my breath, and I slowly walked towards Ethan and placed my head on his lap. He started petting my hair, and we continued watching the fights. "So, who is up for another challenge?" Josh asked the pack members, and I think this was the 12th time he had asked this question. And someone volunteered and picked his opponent, but I was too tired to watch, so I asked Ethan if I could go back to the pack house to take a bath and change my clothes. "Sure, love," he replied, and I tiredly stood up and started trailing my way to the pack house. After a few minutes of walking, I reached the pack house and headed to our room to take a bath and rest for a while, but I fell asleep while reading a book. Aria made me amazed with her thinking and fighting skills. She fought with 5 women from my pack and only got some minor injuries, but all her opponents were knocked out and sent to the pack's hospital. When she lay her head in my lap, I started petting her hair. I wanted to show her that I cared for her, and I knew that she was so tired and exhausted now. We watched the following duels. Then she stood up and said that she would take a bath and rest. I volunteered to come with her, but she refused, so I let her leave alone. After a couple of fights between my pack members, I stood up and announced with authority, "Okay, that's all for today, and we will continue our training tomorrow. Thank you for your cooperation." Then my pack members started to disperse and go back to their respective houses. I headed to the pack house and asked the other members to prepare dinner. Then I went to my room to take a bath and call Aria for dinner. When I entered our room, I saw that she was sleeping peacefully on the sofa with a book in her hand. So I carefully made my way to the bathroom and took a bath. Then I changed into a set of new clothes, and I tapped Aria on her shoulder to wake her up. "Wake up, love. It's time for dinner. You haven't eaten anything since lunch, so I know that you are hungry," I said sweetly. Her eyes slowly fluttered open and she said softly, "Sure, I'm coming now." Then she slowly stood up but lost her balance since she wasn't fully awake. A good thing I caught her, and I guided her toward the dining hall. We ate happily while she ate sleepily. Then we bid our goodbyes and headed to our rooms to rest. It's been a month now since we started our pack training to prepare our pack for any conflict or sudden attack. I have also been spending extra hours for training to strengthen my abilities in my wolf so I can fight alongside my mate and become a rightful Luna of this pack. I am now having a sparring session with Ethan's Gamma, Liam. Yesterday, I fought with them in my wolf form, and he said that I am improving in many ways, and if I keep on training, I can fight alongside Ethan sooner. We continued our training and kept talking about many ways to help me improve my skills more. Then we heard a loud explosion that I think was from the pack's border, so we immediately headed there, and since we were in the forest, we immediately reached the border. We saw our border patrols struggling to prevent the rogues from entering our territory. I decided to help them, but Liam stopped me from getting closer to them. What? I asked angrily. Aria, you can't go in there. Go back to the pack house and warn the Alpha about the attack. And most importantly, stay there. Rogues are starting to fight their way into our border, he said, and I trembled when I heard the word rogues. I remembered the time when a rogue almost got me hurt, but I was saved by my brother. Let's go back to the pack house and ask for help, Anna said through MindLink to stop me from overthinking so that we could do our job. I tried to argue, but she blocked me, so I transformed into my wolf form and headed towards the pack house. On my way, I MindLinked Ethan to tell our pack warriors to get ready for a sudden attack. Ethan, there is a rogue attack on the northern side of our border, I said. Are you okay? He asked worriedly through the MindLink. I'm fine. Send some help over there because Liam and the patrols alone cannot defeat a whole bunch of rogues, I said hurriedly. Sure, I'll send them now, but where are you? Are you safe? He asked, still in MindLink. Yeah, I'm fine. I'm heading to the pack house now, I replied hurriedly when a rogue suddenly appeared in my way. I started to tremble in fear, but I remembered the fighting moves and stances that Ethan and Liam taught me. So I let Anna take over since she is more expert than me in fighting when we are in our wolf form. Then I pounced on the rogue, and he tried to shake me off of him, so I took that chance to knock him aside with my paws. We continued running towards the pack house, and when I reached the entrance, I could see Ethan waiting for me with a shirt and shorts. I took the pair of clothes from him and hid behind a tree. Then I changed back to my human form and I put on the clothes. Are the pack warriors prepared now? I asked. Yes, they are on their way to the border, Ethan replied. You made me so worried. I thought I was going to lose you like my parents. Like your parents? I asked, curious as to why I haven't seen his parents until now. Well, long story short, both my parents were on a business trip when they got attacked by rogues. That is the reason why I became Alpha at a young age, since there was no one who could hold the position except me. That is also the reason why I don't trust intruders and rogues that get here in my territory, he explained. I felt pity for him since he had to suffer all that at a young age. I'm sorry. I shouldn't have asked about it. I didn't mean to make you upset. I apologized. No, it's not your fault. As I said before, we need to be honest with each other, he said. Then he smiled sadly. I will tell you the whole story after we solve this rogue attack, he added. Okay, I can wait, I said with a smile on my lips. I was happy that he was willing to tell his past to me, like I did with him. His eyes became unfocused for a while. Maybe he is talking with the warriors through MindLink, Anna suddenly said in my head. Yes, I know that, and you don't have to give me a heart attack for a simple matter, I replied. I have to go to the borders to help our warriors defeat the rogues, he said after he finished talking with, I think, our pack warriors. I thought it was under their control? I asked, worried. The rogues are too many, so we need all male and female warriors in our pack to fight. This is the first time an attack like this has happened, he explained. I'll come with you. I can now fight, and don't worry. I can protect myself, I said. No, you will not go there. I have a more important task for you, he replied, making me disappointed. Why can't I fight with you? What are the trainings for? If I can't still fight with you in a real battle, I asked, with tears starting to stream down my face. I thought he trusted me, but he couldn't even let me fight with him. He still thinks that I am a weak she-wolf who can't protect herself, let alone a whole pack. You have to evacuate the young and female wolves to a safe place so that they will not be affected and hurt by the incoming battle, he explained softly. Then he wiped my tears using his thumb. I entrust you with their safety. You have to protect them. Do you understand? He asked, to which I nodded, because I couldn't utter a word since I was still sobbing. I will protect them. Don't worry, I said after calming myself. I know you will, I love you, he replied, giving me a kiss full of love on my lips. I love you too. Come back safe and alive, I said. Then I kissed him again. He turned into his wolf and ran towards the northern border of our pack. After a while, his silhouette disappeared in the forest. So I headed back to the pack house and started to gather the female and young wolves of our pack who didn't have knowledge in fighting and defending themselves. I led them to the underground hiding place just below the pack house. This is where the wolves who didn't train to fight hide when the pack is under an attack. I have been waiting for news about Aria for months now, and not even a single pack has seen her since she left. It is either she is now gone, or one of the packs that I asked is lying. I know I shouldn't blame her for her brother's passing, but I can't help it since my wolf has more control over me. I lost my successor, so naturally, my wolf will look for someone to blame. So when I heard Teresa, my wife, say that it was Aria who asked Andrew to go to the forest with her, my wolf directed his anger towards her. I was still reminiscing about the past here in my office when I heard a knock on the door, so I let that person in. "What is it?" I asked. "Alpha, I have something to report about Aria. One of our spies found that she is staying in the Twilight Moon Pack and she is their soon-to-be Luna," he said. When I heard that she was a soon-to-be Luna, my dislike towards her started to get deeper, so my wolf took control again. How can she be a Luna when she led to the passing of my successor, who was supposed to be her and this pack's Alpha? I shouted, my voice booming around the room. "I don't think she will be a Luna in a peaceful way," my beta replied. "Why?" I asked, curious. "Well, right now their pack is under a rogue attack, and the rogues are so many that they have to dispatch all their pack warriors and evacuate the females and children. They even asked for help from their allies," he explained. "Now that you said it, maybe it's time for my daughter to pay for her sins to this pack. I am going to deal with her mate and let her suffer the grief I felt when Andrew passed. But we have already punished her this past few years," my beta said. "Maybe now is the time to let go of our dislike," he added. "No, what we did to her before is not enough. Now prepare our best warriors. We will attack the Twilight Moon Pack," I said, using my Alpha voice, so my beta had no choice but to comply with my orders. I knew that Alpha William's decision was wrong, but I still chose to follow him since he took care of my family all these years. I felt pity for Aria. She shouldn't have been blamed for her brother's passing, but the whole pack disliked her so much that they wanted her to suffer till her last breath. I went to the conference room in our pack house and mind-linked all our best warriors to come. When they all arrived, I started our meeting. "Now, we have a mission with the Alpha, and that is to challenge the Alpha of the Twilight Moon Pack," I explained. "But why will we challenge him? There is no dispute between our packs," a female warrior asked. "Because Alpha William wants to avenge Andrew, and the Alpha of the Twilight Moon Pack is the mate of Aria," I said in a serious tone. "So, we will leave her mateless for her whole life?" a male warrior asked. "Yes, that's what Alpha William wants. So when will we attack?" "I heard that rogues are attacking their pack right now," another male warrior asked. "We will attack now. So prepare yourselves because we will set out in an hour." "Let's meet at the southern border of our pack," I said, and they all agreed by saying, "Yes, Beta John. I heard that they would attack and challenge the Alpha of the Twilight Moon Pack because he was Aria's mate. Well, she was to blame for her brother's passing, so that was only fair for her. You can say that. I'm a bad mother since I want my daughter to suffer. But can you blame me? She was the reason why my son was gone and why this pack had lost its next Alpha. I also blamed myself all these years because I let them go to the forest alone. But it was Aria's idea to go there. And maybe she was the one who planned that attack. And she even colluded with rogues." I got out of my bedroom and headed to my husband's office. I knocked, and he let me in. "I heard that you will launch an attack on Aria's new pack?" I asked. "Well, yes, I will," William replied. "I want to come with you. I want to witness how Aria will suffer when she sees that her mate is gone." "You can't come because it's unsafe," he replied. "I insist. And you can't stop me," I said with anger laced in my voice. "Okay, I agree. So prepare yourself. We will set out in an hour. And we will meet at the southern border of our pack," he replied unsurely. "Okay, I'll go now," I said, then left to prepare myself. I went back to my room to get my tranquilizer gun, just in case I needed it for later. After an hour, all the pack's best warriors were here at the southern border of our pack. It seemed that my husband was prepared for this attack. We turned to our wolf form and started running through the forest, heading to the Twilight Moon Pack. After about an hour of running, we reached the pack's border, and by the looks of it, the pack members of their pack were starting to be defeated by the rogues, and many of them were hurt while some of them were injured. We stayed in our hiding spot to wait for the right time to attack and challenge their Alpha. It's been hours now, and I haven't heard a word from Ethan since he left the pack house saying he needed to help his warriors because this was not a simple rogue attack since the rogues were so many. I decided to get out of the safe place and ask Lucy, Ethan's sister, to protect the pack members. She tried to stop me from leaving, saying it was dangerous, but I didn't listen to her. I turned to my wolf form and ran towards the border. When I got to the northern border of our pack, I saw some injured pack warriors, so I helped them and brought them to the pack hospital. I was helping a female warrior when a dark brown wolf pounced on me, and that wolf was so familiar that all my memories came rushing back. He was here. My father was here. He would hurt me like before, I thought to myself. When I saw Aria helping an injured warrior from their pack, I couldn't contain my anger, so I pounced at her while she was not paying attention. She looked shocked when she saw me. My warriors also started attacking rogues and members from the other pack who got in their way. Seems like my little princess didn't forget me at all, I said with a fake smile plastered on my face. Stay away from me, she said, her voice trembling with fear. No, princess. I am here to let you suffer. At first, I thought of dealing with your mate so you would be mateless for your whole life. But it won't hurt if I deal with you first, now that I saw you, I said with anger and amusement in my voice. You are not my father. You are a monster. My father would not let me suffer like this, she shouted. You are right. I am not your father, because he passed away that day with your brother Andrew. You let them both go, I shouted. No, I didn't, I said. I knew that it was my father's wolf who was now talking, so I tried to find a way to free myself, but to no avail. He saw through my motive, so he started baring his fangs at my neck. I tried fighting it, but he was too strong, so I just closed my eyes and waited for my demise. Suddenly, a brown wolf pounced at my father's dark brown one, so he had no choice but to get off me and fight with the brown wolf. I stared at them for a minute or two when I realized that the wolf who saved me was Theo, my first mate who rejected me. They kept fighting with each other until I saw Theo grab my father's neck with his fangs and my father falling to the ground, barely conscious. He also turned back to his human form since his energy could not maintain himself in his wolf form. Dad, I cried and turned back to my human form. Then I came to him and hugged him, but instead of hugging me back, he got a silver dagger from his waist and tried using it on me. But Theo blocked the attack. So he got injured by my father. He also fell to the ground, his back in pain. Why did you do that? I asked him, and I couldn't help myself. So I started crying. I want to apologize to you for rejecting you, he said just above a whisper, but you don't have to sacrifice yourself like that. I already accepted your rejection, didn't I? I replied, still crying. I know. I just want to compensate you for the pain that I caused you, he said, struggling to speak, because silver can be dangerous to us werewolves, especially if it gets in our system. You have already paid your debts to me, so now I want you to stay alive, or I will never forgive myself, I said in a demanding tone. I am sorry, but I think I can't do that now, he said. Then he slowly closed his eyes. No, you have to wake up. You still have a pack to rule, I shouted, but there was no response. So I cried harder. He passed because of me. It's all my fault. I shouldn't have come close to my dad. I thought he had already forgiven me, I said. It's not your fault. Theo wanted to save you, so he did that, and he wouldn't want you to blame yourself for his death. He would want you to live happily, to forget about him and what he did to you before, Anna replied. But I had already forgiven him before, I reasoned. Of course, he wanted to be a person who deserved that forgiveness. That's why he saved you, Anna explained. I still wanted to argue with her, but I remembered that we were in the middle of a battle, so I carefully placed Theo's body on the ground, and I turned back to my wolf form to help the members from my pack in fighting the intruders. Yes, intruders, because we were not only fighting with rogues but with my dad's best pack warriors. A rogue blocked my way, so I pounced on it and broke its neck. That's what I did to all the rogues who blocked me. I would pounce on them and either break their necks or knock them aside, using my paws or fangs. When I came face to face with a warrior from my old pack, I got back to my human form, and I picked up the silver dagger that I always bring with me, in case of emergency. She lunged at me, but I disarmed her using my dagger. Ethan and Liam also taught me how to use weapons. I fought with a dozen more rogues when I saw 3 rogues who pounced on Josh at the same time. Even though he was strong, a rogue almost got his neck. So I helped him by throwing my dagger at one of the rogues and turning to my wolf form, then attacking the other rogue by breaking its neck. Josh looked shocked when he saw me. What are you doing here, Aria? Alpha told you to hide with the female and children members of the pack. What are you doing here? He asked. Of course, I got bored there, so I got out and helped with the injured warriors. But then someone pounced at me, so I started fighting with them, I explained. Oh, now that you're here, stay close to me. I don't want Ethan ripping my neck because I can't keep you safe, he joked. and I laughed a little. We started fighting more rogues when I saw Ethan with 4 warriors from my old pack fighting with him. I could see that he could defeat them easily with his strength, since he is an alpha and he is also the best fighter I know. After some time, he was now down to the last warrior. That's when I saw my mother not far from Ethan, loading her tranquilizer gun. I looked back at Ethan and saw that he didn't notice it, so I ran as fast as I could when I saw that my mom pointed her gun at Ethan, aiming for his heart. I was fighting with a warrior from Aria's old pack when she suddenly jumped in front of me. Then I heard a gunshot, and I got shocked when I saw that Aria fell on the ground, hurt, and her stomach was injured. I came to her side fast, slowly picking her up and placing her gently in my lap so as not to hurt her. Then I looked around and saw a woman who was holding a gun, so I prepared myself to deal with her. "Let her be," Aria said weakly, and she turned back to her human form. "But she shot you?" I replied with anger in my voice but tears in my eyes. "She is my mother, so let her go," she said, and I got more devastated than I was. I turned back to my human form and carefully carried her towards the pack doctor to see if she could save her. When I arrived, they immediately helped Aria and brought her to one of the operating rooms. They ordered me to stay there because I couldn't follow inside since it was an OR, so everything was sanitized. I still wanted to argue, but Evan said to me, "Just let them do their job so they can save her." "Okay. I will not argue with them anymore," I replied. "Be sure to save her. Please," I said to what I think was a nurse, or maybe a doctor, but right now I didn't care. "Yes, Alpha, we will do everything we can to save her," she answered. Then she also entered the operating room. After she left, that was when I let my tears fall freely. I remembered the last time I cried was when my parents passed away because of rogues. I just want to be with her, and I will not forgive myself if anything happened to her. So I got out of the Pax hospital and turned to my wolf form. Then I headed back to the borders where Aria's mother was. I saw that she was still there, where I had left her earlier, and she was now looking at her gun, mumbling some words that I didn't understand clearly. I turned back to my human form and approached her. I asked her with anger laced in my voice, "Why did you do that to your own daughter? She is not my daughter." "Since the day she got her brother hurt," she shouted. "How could you say that? How could you blame her like that? We all know that Andrew, her brother, passed in a rogue attack," I explained to her. She looked shocked that I knew what happened, and that reaction left her face as quickly as it came. "So she even told you that?" she mocked. "And you didn't believe her when she said that it was not her fault. Instead, you turned her pack against her," I shouted. "Why do you think I would believe her? She was the one who asked Andrew to come with her near our border. Who knows what she was planning," she reasoned. "Why would you not believe her? She is your daughter. And we all know that she couldn't plan an attack like that. And Andrew passed because he saved her," I explained. "Yes, that is the reason Andrew passed, because he saved her, so technically, she is the reason why I lost my son," she shouted. "But didn't you think about her feelings? When you blamed her because of Andrew's passing, she also started blaming herself. You led her to believe that she got her own brother hurt, let alone the mental torture. You even made her your pack's servant and mistreated her to the point that she feared everyone," I said to her calmly but with venom laced on every word. "Did you know that when she just got here in my pack, she was rejected by her first mate? Did you know that he rejected her because she was so weak? Did you know how hard her life was? That when we caught her trespassing on our border, I sent her to the dungeons, and with that, she didn't know what to do. She felt alone, and she thought that she was useless to everyone," I added. "But I... She couldn't continue her words anymore, so she broke down crying. I didn't know what to say. I didn't know that I was the reason why Aria became like that. Only now did I realize that I had also hurt my daughter all these years. I had been blinded by dislike. I was the reason why her pack hated her in the first place. And now I had hurt her, and she was in pain. I shot my own daughter, my own family. I was blinded by my dislike. I caused her this," I said to myself. "Please say to her, 'I'm sorry, I don't deserve to be her mother at all,'" I told the Alpha of the Twilight Moon Pack. "Also, say to her that I love her, and I hope she can forgive me for what I've done," I added. "You can tell her that yourself, when you two meet after she wakes up," he said with a hint of sympathy in his voice. I knew that he was also mad at me for hurting his mate like that. And I was also mad at myself for hurting my daughter all these years. I knew that what I did to her didn't deserve forgiveness, and I didn't want her to remember the mistreatment that she had been through when she saw me again. "I'm sorry, but I think I can't wait for her to wake up," I said while crying. I slowly pointed my gun with the tranquilizer towards myself and mouthed, "I'm sorry." Then I pulled the trigger. The gun slipped from my hand and fell on the ground with a thud along with my body. Then everything started to blur, and I could feel that life was slowly slipping away from me. The last thing I saw was Aria's mate running towards me before everything blacked out. I was shocked when Aria's mother suddenly pointed her gun towards her heart. We all know that silver bullets are fatal for werewolves. In her case, if she fired the gun towards her heart, there was no chance that she would survive since it was a silver bullet. She mouthed the words, "I'm sorry," before she pulled the trigger. I tried stopping her, but it was too late. When her body fell on the ground, I carefully picked her up and rushed her to the PAX hospital. But she was announced to have passed when the doctors checked on her. They said that it was impossible for her to live since the bullet had penetrated her heart. After mourning for her death for a while, I suddenly remembered Aria, and I ran towards the operating room where she had been brought earlier. I waited for hours, walking back and forth, until a doctor came out and said that she was now stable. But she still needed to stay here in the hospital for further observations. I thanked the doctor who brought me the news, and she replied, "Anything for my Alpha and Luna." "Can I see her now?" I asked. "You can see her later. We just have to move her to a private room, then you can be with her," she explained. "Thank you," I said. Then she left and walked towards what I think was her office. After an hour, Josh mind-linked me saying, "Alpha, we have defeated all the rogues that tried to enter our territory. As for the Blood Moon Pack's warriors, some of them escaped while many of them were taken down. That's great. After we sort things here in our pack, we will go to Aria's old pack to either make peace with them or let them submit to us," I replied. "How is Aria, by the way? I heard that she got shot." "Is she okay now?" he asked worriedly. "Right now, the doctors have finished operating on her, but they will have to observe her for a few days and wait for her to wake up to see if there are any complications," I explained to him. I knew that right now, only he could understand how I felt. "Don't worry. We all know that Aria is strong, so she will not simply give up," he assured me, making me feel a little better. It's been a week now since Aria got shot, and even though I didn't like it, I had to manage my pack and get everything back in its place. Yesterday, I held a small funeral for Aria's parents. I know that they harmed her, but still, they were the reason why she was here in the first place, and I didn't want Aria knowing that I had dumped her parents' bodies somewhere like they were some kind of rogues who trespassed in our territory. Even though they really did. I am still waiting for Aria to wake up. The doctors said that she was stable now, but it would take some time for her to wake up since she had survived a life-and-death situation. I heard a knock on the door, so I let them enter. I saw Mina and Josh with Lucy, so I invited them to sit on the sofas here in Aria's hospital room. Since it was divided into two with the patient's room and a living room, I didn't bother talking to them here so as not to disturb Aria. They always visited Aria and me to talk to me and bring me food, while Josh reported to me the happenings in our pack. I let him manage the minor pack problems for a while because I wanted to see Aria wake up. But sometimes he needed my permission on certain things. That's why he came here every day to consult me with the major problems in our pack. So far, the members of my pack who passed in the battle were honored and buried yesterday, and I also attended their funeral since I am the Alpha. As for the rogues, we took care of them, while we buried the wolves from Aria's old pack together in a neutral territory. "So how is she now? Did she wake up yet?" Josh asked, pertaining to Aria. "She hasn't woken up until now, but the doctors said she will wake up soon since her injuries are healing well," I answered. "I will check her for a while, so continue what you two are talking about," Mina said, grabbing Lucy's hand, signaling her to join. "Oh, I will come with Mina." "Good luck with your business," Lucy said. Then they entered the room where Aria was. When we made sure that they had already left and they had fully closed the door, Josh started talking. "I have some news for you. I have made preparations for the treaty between our pack and the Blood Moon Pack. Right now, their Beta stands as their leader since their Alpha has passed, and his only possible successor is Aria since her brother passed away years ago," he explained. "So you want me to ask Aria, when she wakes up, to be their new Luna, then we can combine our packs?" I asked with uncertainty. "Technically, yes. That is the only way to make them under our rule. Maybe you can ask Aria about it, and if she doesn't agree, I will find another way. But as of now, this is the only way," he added. "How can I ask her to be the leader of a pack who disliked her to the bones?" "I don't want to risk her life again," I said. "I can be their Luna," someone said from behind, and I was sure that it was my mate. "Aria, you're awake," I exclaimed. Then I came running to her. I missed you so much. I'm so worried about you, I said, hugging her tightly. Ethan, I can't breathe, she said weakly. Oh, I'm sorry, I said. Then I immediately let her go. Then I guided her back to her bed and let her lay down again. We entered Aria's room so that we could give Josh and my brother some space to talk about serious matters of our pack. I was holding Aria's hand like I always do when I visit her, and I said some encouraging words to wake her up. I missed her so much. Her bubbly attitude, her playful ways of speaking to me, and everything about her. I couldn't wait for her to wake up. It had been a week since she had been in a coma. But for me, it felt like months. I was still thinking about our happy times when suddenly one of Aria's fingers moved, so I quietly called Mina. Her finger moved, I said to her with excitement. She got her pen and did some tests on Aria's fingers, and she responded to all of them. We looked at her for a few seconds, then she slowly opened her eyes but closed them back again. I noticed that she got blinded by the sunlight from the window, so I immediately pulled the curtains down. I could feel that someone was pressing something on my fingers, and hell, it hurt. But what hurt the most was my chest, and of course, my whole body. It felt like I hadn't moved for centuries. That's when I remembered what happened. Ethan fighting with warriors from my pack, my mom aiming her gun at my mate, and me jumping in front of him to save him from being shot. Then everything blacked out, and I couldn't remember what happened next. I adjusted my position to a more comfortable one. Then I asked, "What happened? Where am I? And where is Ethan? Is he safe?" "Whoa, calm down. You can ask him later. He is just talking with Josh about some matters," Mina explained. I could hear some vague words, so I tried to stand up even though my body hurt like hell and my vision was still spinning. Mina and Lucy helped me walk until we reached the door. I opened it a little so that I could clearly hear them. It seemed that they were talking about my old pack, and Josh was suggesting that I become their Luna since I was the only rightful successor left to rule. At first, I hesitated, but then I made up my mind, so I said, "I can be their Luna." I could see the shock on Ethan's face when he saw that I was awake. "Aria, you're awake!" he exclaimed. Then he came running to me. "I missed you so much. I'm so worried about you," he whispered in my ear, hugging me tightly, like I would disappear the moment he let me go. Ethan, I can't breathe," I said weakly. "Oh, I'm sorry," he said. Then he immediately let me go. Then he guided me back to my bed and let me lay down again. After he guided me back to my bed, I asked him again, "Why did Josh ask that I be the Luna of my old pack?" "Well, it's like this. Maybe we can talk about it some other time," he said, smiling awkwardly. "I want to know about it. And I want to know it now," I demanded, making him look uncomfortable. "Well, your old pack, was left without an alpha or a Luna to govern them. So Josh thinks that since you are their alpha's daughter, you have the most rights to become their Luna," he explained while fidgeting in his seat. This was the first time I had seen him uncomfortable about something that he looked like a kid telling his wrongdoings to his mom, I thought to myself. "What did you say? My old pack has no alpha and Luna to govern them? I can understand that they didn't have an alpha because Theo took him down, but how can they not have a Luna?" I asked, and my tears threatened to fall from my eyes. "Your mom, when she shot you?" I told her what you had been through, so she started blaming herself and kept saying her sorries. Then she pointed the gun to her heart and shot herself, he explained sadly, and my tears started to fall, so he came to my side to hug me and comfort me. "By the way, who is Theo? Why did he help you?" he asked. "Do you remember my first mate? The one who rejected me? That's him. When my father lunged at me, he saved me. Then they fought with each other, and Theo defeated my father. When I saw my father's state, I felt pity for him, so I came close to him and hugged him. But I didn't expect that he had a silver dagger, and he tried to use it on me. But Theo blocked the attack. He got injured fatally, and I tried saving him, but it was too late," I told him, sadness evident in my face. "But why would he save you? I thought he didn't love you. That's why he rejected you?" he asked curiously. "He told me that he wanted to ask for my forgiveness. I said that I had already forgiven him, but he said that he wanted to be a person who deserved my forgiveness," I answered. "Oh, I'm sorry," he said while caressing my hair to calm me down. "You should rest. You just woke up from a coma, and there's so much stress that came to you," he said worriedly. So I followed his advice and lay on my hospital bed to sleep. I felt that he carefully placed the blanket over me, Then I drifted off to a peaceful sleep, without nightmares and feeling afraid. Instead, I had a beautiful dream about my mate protecting me and always staying by my side. We are now preparing for our trip to the Blood Moon Pack, to ask them if they want to join my pack and let Aria be their new Luna, and me basically their new Alpha since I am her mate and I have marked her already. At first, I didn't know what Josh was thinking when he told me his plan. I knew that it would be hard for Aria to go back there since all her sad memories were there. I was sure she would remember the mistreatment and harsh things that they did to her when we went there. But I was shocked when Aria agreed with me about being Luna. She also didn't get mad at me or accuse me of using her for power. A thing that I would never do cause she is the most important thing and person in my life. I don't know how I could live without her. Alpha, everything is ready. We can head out now, Josh said, pulling me out of my thoughts. I will call Aria now, I replied, and he answered me with a nod. I went to our room and called Aria. Love, it's time to go now. Are you ready yet? I asked. Not yet. Just a minute more, she shouted. Okay, just a minute more, huh? No more extensions, I said. Okay, I'm done now, she said. Then she opened the door and walked out of our room. I looked at her for a while with my mouth hanging open. Hey, you're about to drool, she said jokingly while laughing. I immediately closed my mouth, but I still stared at her, amazed. She was now wearing a blue dress and a pair of white high-heeled shoes. Her hair was half-curled, and she had put on a little bit of makeup on her face, but it still looked so natural. Let's go. We can't be late for the event, she said. Oh, yeah, we shouldn't be late, so come on, let's get down so we can leave, I said absent-mindedly, so she laughed hard. Hey, what's so funny? I asked, pouting my lips. Well, just look at yourself right now and see if you can still contain your laugh, she said. Then we got down and headed to the front door of the pack house. There, Josh waited with the car we would use, since the Blood Moon Pack was not that close to our pack, so it was much better to drive a vehicle than to run in wolf form. We got in the car and buckled our seatbelts. Then I signaled to Josh that we could go now. Josh started driving, and after a minute of silence, Aria asked, What will we do there when we arrive? Basically, they will have to welcome you since you will be their new Luna. But we didn't tell them that we were coming. So this will look like we will pay a simple visit to your old pack, I explained, and she nodded. After what I think was centuries of driving, just kidding. It was only a 5-hour-long drive. We arrived on the border of the Blood Moon Pack. How I've missed this place, I thought to myself. Even though they had mistreated me before, I still missed this place because this was where I grew up, and this place held the memories of me and my brother when we were younger. We arrived in front of the pack house, so Josh stopped the car and got down. He opened the door for Ethan, while Ethan helped me get down. Then I saw that some of my old pack members were there in front of the pack house, and they looked at me like I was some kind of prey and someone who didn't deserve anything. Are you okay? Do you still want to continue? If you want, I can do this alone, Ethan whispered in my ear. No, I can do this. I have to try, I whispered back, determined to govern this pack for my brother and my parents, since this was our family's legacy. Good to see that you arrived here safely, Alpha, my father's Beta said with anger in his voice. My mate is also here. Why don't you greet my Luna? Ethan asked calmly. So my father's Beta also greeted me even though I knew he loathed me. Good to see you again, Aria. Or should I say Luna? After the fake greetings, we headed inside the pack house for Ethan's announcement. We went here today to ask the pack members of my old pack if they wanted to join Ethan's pack or other packs, or maybe be a rogue. I have an announcement to make, which is also the reason why I came here with my Luna, Ethan said with authority in his voice. What is it that you want to say, Alpha? My father's Beta asked. This pack doesn't have an Alpha or even a Luna to lead it. I came here today to offer the members of this pack to join my pack, which is the Twilight Moon Pack, or other packs near here. Since my Luna is the only one who has the right to lead this pack, cause after all, she's your Alpha's daughter. It is also the reason why I'm offering you to join my pack, since she can't stay here and become Luna while my pack has none. And I can't let my mate be away from me, Ethan explained. Why would you want us to join your pack? To be your servants? A pack member asked with anger in his voice. As I said, it is your own choice if you want to join my pack or other packs. If not, then you can be a rogue, Ethan answered with authority in his voice. The wolf who asked him cowered in fear and hid in the crowd. Now that the Alpha has finished explaining, you can choose to join our pack or other packs, or be a rogue. If you want to join our pack, you can go to the right side of the pack grounds. If you want to join other packs, go to the middle. And if you don't want to join any pack or be a rogue, go to the left side of the pack grounds, Josh said, making my old pack members puzzled, and they didn't know what to do. When we got to Aria's pack, I could feel her uneasiness. She kept fidgeting in her seat inside the car, and when we got down and headed towards the pack house to greet the beta, she became more nervous that I could feel her hand shaking. Are you okay? Do you still want to continue? If you want, I can do this alone, I whispered in her ear. No, I can do this. I have to try, she whispered back. So we continued walking. We reached the front of the pack house and saw the beta waiting for us. Good to see that you arrived here safely, Alpha, their beta said with anger laced in his voice. I got mad and I told him in my Alpha voice to greet my Luna, so he had no choice but to comply even though he hated her. Then Josh started explaining what would happen to the Blood Moon pack and if their pack members wanted to join my pack or another's pack, or maybe be a rogue or a lone wolf. Why would you want us to join your pack? To be your servants? A pack member asked with anger in his voice. As I said, it is your own choice if you want to join my pack or other packs. If not, then you can be a rogue, I answered with authority in my voice. Then the wolf who asked me cowered in fear and hid in the crowd. What a pathetic person, I said to my wolf. You bet he is. Or maybe they are, he replied, irritated. After I answered the wolf who asked his pathetic question, I let Josh take over and continue explaining what would happen. Now that the Alpha has finished explaining, you can choose to join our pack or other packs, or be a rogue. If you want to join our pack, you can go to the right side of the pack grounds. If you want to join other packs, go to the middle. And if you don't want to join any pack or be a rogue, go to the left side of the pack grounds, Josh said, waiting for their decisions. I could see the fury and anger in their eyes, and some of them didn't know what to do or how to choose. I understood them because their choice now regarded their future. After a while, almost half of their pack members got to the right side of their pack grounds, and another half came to the middle, while some of them stood on the left side. Are you sure of your decisions? I asked them, making sure that this was what they wanted. Yes, Alpha, they answered in unison. Beta, Josh, take the members who want to be a lone wolf to the eastern part of their pack and let them break ties from these pack lands to be free from its rules so that they can travel on their own, I ordered. Yes, Alpha, Josh replied, following my orders. Gamma Liam, take the members who want to join another pack to the southern part of their pack lands and let them cut their ties to this pack so that they can join other packs, I ordered next. Yes, Alpha, Liam also replied, following my orders. As for everyone who wants to join my pack, we need to test your fighting skills and other skills to know if you are fit to join the Twilight Moon pack, I said using my Alpha voice. We will first test your fighting skills, so I will ask my best warriors to have a hand-to-hand combat with you, then you will fight in your wolf form after, I explained to them. Yes, Alpha, they replied. And this was making me sick because the only replies that I heard this day were mostly, yes, Alpha. Can't they have another word to reply to me? Just kidding. Then they started their tests to see if they could join my pack. After testing the strength of the pack members from my old pack and selecting the ones who were qualified to join, we got back to our pack house to eat dinner and rest. When we got to our room, I took a shower, then went to bed. But I couldn't help feeling strange. I was in heat, I thought. I immediately called Ethan and told him that I was in heat, and I couldn't control myself anymore because it was very intense. Please, let's complete the bond now. It's really overwhelming, I told him eagerly. I can't just simply complete the mating process with you just because you are in heat. I want to do it when you are really ready. He explained to me. I want to do it now, I said with assurance in my voice. But, he tried to argue, but I cut him off. No buts. And I really wanted to do it now. Even if I'm not in heat, I explained, assuring him that it was all right, and I really wanted to do it. Are you really sure? He asked, to which I nodded. Well then, how can I reject your offer, my beautiful mate? He said. And it made me blush. He took off his clothes until all that was left was his underwear. He also removed my blouse and shorts. Good thing I took a shower. Or maybe you would have ripped my blue dress if we did this now, I told him, and he chuckled. Well, I don't want to be so gentle with the clothes, but I'll be gentle with you, he said with a grin. Then he removed our last pieces of clothing, and he started kissing me on my lips. Then he planted kisses on my neck, down to my abdomen. He moved slowly, and it was intense at first, so I couldn't help but scream. Then after the initial feeling came the pleasure of being with your mate. It's been 3 years since Aria asked me to do the second part of our mating process, and at first, I didn't agree with it because I thought she was just asking for it on impulse since that time she was in heat. But then she said to me that even if she wasn't in heat, she would still do it with me, so I agreed after. Right now, we already have our baby boy on his way. Aria is now 9 months pregnant, so she is now in her full term. The doctor advised us to stay in the hospital because the baby might come out any time now. I was still in my office doing mountains of pack work when I heard someone scream, and I think it was my mate, so I immediately got up and ran towards the kitchen where I had left her earlier. What happened? I asked, panic evident on my face. Her water just broke, so that means, Mina explained calmly, but Aria interrupted her. The baby is coming out, she shouted, so I carried her, and we made our way towards the pack hospital. I didn't know that giving birth was like this, she said, panting a little. Don't worry, love. We are now close to the pack hospital, I assured her. I will never be with you ever again, she suddenly said. I didn't know that this was so hard. Boys should be the ones giving birth so that you will know how hard it is. 'Cause you are the ones enjoying more when you are with us, and you don't mind because you will not be the one who gets pregnant, she ranted on our way, and I couldn't help but laugh. Why are you laughing? She asked. Because you're so funny, I said, trying to control myself from laughing hard. Humph, I am not happy with you, she said jokingly. Love, just calm down and focus on the baby right now so we can finish this fast, I teased, to which she pouted. We got to the hospital, and the doctors took her to the labor room where I heard her shout while the doctors said, push. After a while, I heard a cry, and a nurse called me and told me to enter the room. I followed her. Then I saw a baby wrapped in a blue blanket, and Aria with sweat and tears on her face. Ethan, here is our child, she said. Then she carefully handed me the baby, and I carefully took it. It was so small, and it looked so cute. What will you name him? She asked me. I want to name him Simon. Simon Twilight, I answered, to which she nodded. Then she smiled again. Alpha, Luna needs to rest, and she needs to be transferred to a private room. So can you please wait outside? And we will put the baby in the nursery to monitor him more, the doctor explained. So I agreed. After some time, the doctor led me to a private room where Aria was staying. So I entered. Then I saw that she was still asleep, maybe from the tiredness of giving birth. The doctor also advised that she needed rest, so I didn't bother her, and I asked Josh to bring my pack work here to the hospital. It's been a year now since I gave birth to our baby boy, and Ethan named him Simon. He is now celebrating his first birthday, and I am happy that we are now a family. And not just a family, but a happy and big family. My old pack members who joined Ethan's pack, or should I say our pack, finally accepted me as their Luna, and they now understood that Andrew's passing was not my fault, and I was just in the wrong place at the wrong time. They also accepted Ethan as their alpha, and now we are very happy with our boy who is the soon-to-be alpha of the Twilight Moon Pack. Love, where are you? The pack members are waiting now. You have to go down with Simon so we can start the party, Ethan called me. Or should I say shouted at me. Yes, we're coming. I'm just fixing my clothes, and I will carry Simon now, I shouted back. After we got down, they started the party. We got to play games and other things, then we ate our lunch. And last but not the least, we sang Simon a birthday song, and we blew out the cake for him since he was still small to blow on his own. I could see the happiness in everyone's eyes, and I am so thankful to them for being with me until now, especially my mate, Ethan Twilight. I hope this happiness never ends. I am very happy right now. From being a little girl who was saved by her brother from a rogue attack, to being bullied, mistreated, and disliked by my pack because I was the reason why they lost their future alpha, to being a girl who met her mate but ended up getting rejected because of being too weak and not fit to be a Luna, and ended up sleeping by a tree trunk, going to the dungeons, and being left to waste away. But I am thankful that all of that happened because I met my second chance in love